Okay, so I want to do a video today because I think this is probably the most important thing that you need to do before you do anything. You have got to learn how to do niche research. So we're going to do that. We're going to do it live. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So when you look here, I have made this sheet that gives you 100 niches and how to narrow them down. Okay. And what you do is when you're getting into a niche, you need to do something that don't really go into just something that you love, but go into something that you would enjoy. Okay. Because you don't want to be doing something and then 50 videos down the line, you're like, I hate this topic. So what I did is I took this sheet right here. Okay. I want to show you how easy this is. I mean, AI software and chat has just made life just amazing. So what I did is I uploaded that sheet into Claude and I said, I want you to go down through this niche list. First, I did that. I went down through the niche list and I said, give me 4 niches, broad niches, and then narrow them down into sub niches. Okay. And it came up with some things that I wasn't really interested in. So, I mean, they were good, but I decided to do it a little bit different. And so what I did, I just said, hey, give me, I gave it history, finance, sports, and food. Because let me tell you something. If you go, let's say if you decide to go into sports, if you go into sports as a general broad niche, you will fail because there are millions and millions of other subscribers looking at other channels and they're not going to look at you. You have to sub niche it down. So sports is down here under entertainment, but then you go down a little bit further. You have what you want to do is narrow down by the audience. So the first thing you want to think about is if you're in fitness, fitness as a whole is too broad. But if you say, okay, hey, I want to do a channel for men over 50, let's do strength training for men over 50. Or you could do women, you could do yoga for women over 50, or Pilates for women over 50, or strength training for women over 50, or even over 60 if you want to get down even, more narrow, not too narrow, because then you cut yourself off and then you won't have any videos to do. You won't have any ideas. You can narrow it down by life stage. So personal finance, you could do it for retiring on a small nest egg. You could do history, everyday life in the past centuries, true crime, cold cases solved by DNA. That's a big one right now. This document right here, I have this in my course, but I'm also going to drop this down below and you can download this and check it out for yourself. And it just kind of gives you an idea on how to narrow down your niche. So let's go back over. When we go back and we look at history, the one that we're looking at, failure, why empire cities or great companies collapsed, everyday objects, the hidden history of ordinary things, the fork, the traffic light, denim. These are all interesting stories. So what you want to do, let me see which one we want to look at first, because I'm doing all this live. I think something that's interesting would be this right here. Restaurant empires that collapsed. Okay, let's look at that. So I'm going to take this, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to open up an incognito file, and I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to type this in here. All right. I have no clue what's going to come up. And then what you want to do is you want to go over here to filters and do popularity. I like to do that. And you can see things that came up several years ago. You can do this year. Okay, so that narrows it down a little bit more. And you can see what's going on here. Let's see. All right, so this is something new. Carl's Jr. Empire making 6 million a month just collapsed. All right. You can look at this. I don't know what empires have actually collapsed or what restaurants failed restaurants. Let's see what comes up there. All right. Popularity. So let's see what happens. I mean, this is ridiculous. Tested one-star restaurants. Good 43 million views. I don't even have any words for that. That's just crazy. So you can see somebody did a knockoff there. I mean, you could spin off a lot of things here. So when you see, I mean, I'm just seeing all this live. You see this guy is these are face channels, meaning that these are personalities and they've built their channels on their face. But you could do a spin off on that and you could do a faceless channel. Okay, so you could spin off on that. So I'm doing all this live and you can see it. So I'm just thinking out loud of things that you could do. All right, when we go back to our list and we look at how does the food industry really work? So let me go back over here. I want to show you one other thing. So niche finder. This is a software that I use and it's called swipeless.ai. And I'm going to give you a link to that down below. This is a lot like NextLev. It takes the same data that they have, but this is much cheaper. And you can also build out all of your videos and actually post your videos to your channel. This is really, really amazing. I'm going to go over that in another video. That's not the topic for today, but for the niche finder, it is. So we're going to look here. Let's look up food. Okay. All right. Let's see what we have. Food. So this is something about Europe and food. Uh, let's see. Fast food closing down, biggest chains. So here we go. This is something about stores that are failing. And this is a new channel. Now, one thing that I like about Swipeless is you can also see the RPM on there, which tells you how much these channels are making. It's not always accurate. Plus, these are pretty long videos. So it's probably more than this, but it gives you an idea. And I always put in my filters. I don't want anything less than $3. So that's something to look at too. But this one is kind of cool. I want to see this. All right. So they have quite a few videos. So this one would not qualify. Well, let me see. Maybe it does. Hang on a minute. Let me see. So oldest is 2 months old. It's, let me see if they have shorts though, because if they have shorts, no, they don't. So they have a lot of videos on here for 2 months. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but let's look at it. Hold on. They're posting every single day, but they're getting traction. But this is more about different types of, it's not just, restaurants. It's more about, well, it's kind of a mix between, you've got Costco on here, you got a lot of different things on here, but then you can go to popular. So you want to make sure that there's still room for this. But this one is like really, this one has blown up. But let's check this out. I'm going to look at this right now live and let's see. All right. We'll go here again. Actually, okay. So you can see this channel tried to do a spin-off of there. Okay. And let's do filters, popularity. Okay, 6 months ago, you can see this channel. This is definitely a takeoff of that. And they have quite a few videos. Clever Prep. So yeah, they're definitely spinning off on that one. So I would probably say don't do that. No, I wouldn't do it because there are too many. You want the rule is you don't want to have 50 videos in your subject. So you want to tap out of that because otherwise you're never going to get shown to anybody. So let's see here. Let's go behind the states. Videos. They have 160 videos. Mhm. And you can see this one's kind of mixed though. It's not just about restaurants. So you could do another spinoff on food. Let's see what else we have here. How the food industry really works, what everyday foods came to be. Okay, let's check. Let's how every food came to be. Let's check that out. I'm kind of interested in that. Let's see. All right, this is kind of cool. I like this. So I would do search within the last year or this year. Okay, this one, how everyday things are made. Okay, that's a face channel history of tuna. Okay, that's only got 146 views. So this one is definitely not the right topic. So how about, so this right here is interesting. I like it. It's a face channel. Okay. I mean, there's different things on here. Food and drink logo evolution. I mean, you can really go down a rabbit hole. That's what I can tell you. Leftovers. Okay. How did humans evolve to eat? How foods used to look. Hmm. Okay. What food lovers ate through the decades. So, yeah, you could do something like that. Now, let me just see how food evolved. Okay. All right. So, we're back here. There's a lot of stuff on food. When you do here, when you go on the niche finder, you're going to have to do something more, you have to do something more generic. So, but there are a lot of ones that have come out. Origin of ice cream, history. This one is another channel. This one right here, let's see what the deal is with this. Okay, here we have a channel that has 19 videos. So we're going back over here, and I kind of like this. So the oldest video is 1 month old. Okay. This tells you they were just kind of throwing something out there to see if it would work. Then they did a swap. So it's only been out there for 3 weeks. So I would say that this is definitely something to look at. They have a lot of views. Let's look at this right here. All right. Well, yeah, there we go. Okay. So here you go. This is absolutely a spinoff of this. You can see this person 10 months ago, it's almost the same exact title. Okay. So whoever was doing the research, more than likely, that's what they did. So this just shows you, there it is again, the same one 7 months ago, but they put Trump on there that didn't work. So let's look at this channel right here. Let's check this channel out. They have 220 videos. So this one, 2 years ago, yeah. Then they totally did a switch on their style. You can see their thumbnails totally changed. And then if you do popular, so they did this video, don't eat at McDonald's again until you watch this. Then they did another McDonald's video about a year ago. We don't know the date. So this one is all about food. So there are a lot of things you can do here. They did a lot of videos about McDonald's, you can see, and that's been one of their biggest things. But these videos got 4.9 million views. So if you go back here, and you can see this has a different viewpoint. So I would probably do something in this realm. Okay. You could play around with that one. That's number one. You could go into history. You can go into food evolution. Let's see what this one looks like. 18 videos. Okay. So this is kind of cool. If you want to go into cooking, let's see what they have. So 2 weeks, 172,000 views. That's pretty freaking cool. Oldest is 1 month. So here you go. This is one right here. This is one that I would definitely look into. And you can see this is all looks like just home cooked food, just basics. Let's watch one of these videos and kind of see what the deal is. Okay. So you can see this right here. Okay. So we're going to take this title and we're going to take it back over here. Okay. There you go. And popularity, perfect meatloaf. All right. So they're just taking easy things and doing it. And look, this looks almost, look at that. That's identical. Look. Well, no, that's a playlist, but that's somebody's playlist, their favorites. So they uploaded that as their favorite, which is kind of cool, right? So somebody saved that. Yep, cooking. So this is pretty cool. So with that, I mean, we've already found two different things that you could do just from doing this little bit of research. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to show you just some things that you can do. Now, the next thing that I would do is I would go into and analyze the scripts or the transcripts from these videos, and I would use Claude, and that would help me to come up with my topics. I do a complete analysis with Claude. I look at different angles and then we test it. I come up with my first 30 topics for my videos, and that's how we do that. So this is very simple. I'm doing this on the fly and you can totally see how I do it.